welcome to our platform.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having us.
So we will jump right in. Why don't you both tell us about your characters and how enjoyable it is to be part of this wonderful series?
um, well, my character Faye, she came into the crew in episode 2 of season 1, and she's new to the group. She is a New York transplant into Los Angeles and recently divorced and kind of figuring out what her life is going to be like after divorce, making friends with this new wonderful crew. And in season 2, she starts dating, which is really fun. Yeah, I love playing Faye. She's a really fun character. She's a little different. She's a little, marches to the beat of her own drum. And I love this incredible cast. We're all great friends. So it's really fun playing Faye.
Yeah, and I play Anthony. He is the finance guy of the group. He is definitely in love with his job when we first meet him in season 1, and then in season 2, I think we start to see a little growth that happens from him, and hopefully he starts to learn a little bit more how to balance his work life with his life outside of work. I'll just put it that way. So yeah, Anthony's a lot of fun to play as well, and I'm just happy to be a part of this amazing cast and be able to play this character and tell these stories.
Okay, great answers. Now, let's talk about how you got involved with the cast. Of course, there was audition and that, but do you have any interesting backstory that you could tell about your journey on getting part of the cast?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell an interesting story, I guess, because I auditioned for 3 of the characters in total. I think first I auditioned for Noah, then I tested for Wyatt first, and then I didn't get that. Obviously, Justin Cunningham, who plays him so wonderfully and brilliantly, did get cast. And then afterwards, Phil Augusta Jackson, our creator, and Dan Gore, our producer, asked if I would come in to test for Anthony. And luckily, it happened that I got cast because a lot of times you definitely audition over and over and over again, and you don't get so lucky to get cast. So I'm just so happy that I was able to be a part of this.
Yeah, for me, I wasn't in the pilot, so I wasn't part of the original casting process. They decided to add the character of Faye later on. And so I got the breakdown. I didn't really, because the show wasn't on air yet, I didn't really have much to go off of. But I did know Echo Kellum from doing improv with him at IO West years ago. So I called up Echo and I was like, hey, tell me about this show. And funny enough, Echo didn't even know that they were adding this character. So he was like, oh, yeah, I didn't even know they were doing that. So he told me a little bit about the show. And I taped with my friend Tia. And, I think it took like about a week before I heard anything. And then I had to meet with the producers. And this is all over Zoom because this was, during the COVID event. So this was a Zoom meeting with the producers, Dan Gore and Phil Augusta Jackson, and our casting director, Susie Ferris. And then I had to do a chemistry test over Zoom with Nicole Byer. And then I found out I got the part, and I found out on a Thursday and I started working on a Monday.
Wow, that was really fast.
Yeah, really quick.
That's an incredible story, but it also tells that you are very proactive because you didn't just wait for an opportunity. You took advantage of the fact that you were able to do something about it. And I think that's important, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's a lesson that other budding actors and actresses can learn too, that if you really want a job, you've got to try to put in some work too so that you can find out more information and that kind of thing, because there's so many people out here trying to get these roles.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I definitely had the advantage of knowing Echo and getting a little bit about the show. But if you don't know someone, the best thing to do is kind of look at who's making the show. So in this instance, like Dan and Phil came from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and Phil also did Insecure. So that's a kind of a good way to do a little bit of research, just find out who's behind the show and what kind of stuff they've made before.
Now, what are some of the fans saying to you through social media about what they like best about the show?
Well,
It's
I'm on
really
Twitter.
good. It's really funny.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter, which I feel like is the best assessment or judgment of what people are saying about the show. And it's all been really positive, especially this season. People are really enjoying the Faye and Anthony of it all, and the will they or won't they, and the kind of love triangle between Faye, Anthony, and Talia. So it's been really fun these last couple of episodes going on there and seeing what people tweet. I've actually started posting some of my favorite tweets on Instagram and Twitter because they're really funny. And people get creative with their memes and the things that they say about the show.
Yeah, I'm not on Twitter, so I get all of my news via Gracie. But I think a lot of people, in particular with this last episode, as she told it, enjoyed like the whole Usher sequence, the dance sequence that the four boys did in this last episode. And like she said also, I think a lot of people are really resonating with this whole will they, won't they between Anthony and Faye. So that's nice to see as well.
Okay, well, I want to thank Aaron and Gracie for this wonderful interview for RightOn Digital. And we look forward to connecting with you again in future months as you work on other projects as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for talking to us.